Hey guys, Levi Samuel here. Today I'm going to talk about marketing, or more aptly, the difference between marketing and art. The easiest way to identify the difference between the two, if you're taking a marketing approach, the first thing you need to do is identify the market. Once you've identified the market, you've identified a need in the market, then you come up with an idea to fill that gap. If you're going to create art first, then you come up with the idea, and then you try to find a spot in the market for that idea to fit. The trouble between the two, if you approach from the marketing standpoint, the ideas are not usually as good, but you have a higher chance of making some money. If you approach from the art standpoint, the problem that you're going to run into there is oftentimes there's either not a market for it or an extremely small market for it. However, the ideas are typically better. Those are really the two different ways to approach everything. Marketing is manipulation. It is manipulating somebody into an emotional response to get them to purchase your book or product, whatever that product may be. It's all about the perception. You want people to feel like they have to have whatever it is you're selling, whether it be books or t-shirts or anything. You have to learn to market yourself, and this is where you'll hear the term branding. A lot of authors will try to put on a persona, or not just authors, celebrities, musicians. If you're in front of people, you're typically going to have to brand yourself, or you at least want to brand yourself. And a lot of people will approach this, they want to appear to be a rock star, or to be the party animal, or to be somebody fun, somebody who people can relate to and just enjoy being around. Honestly, people do not care about your books. People buy from the personality behind those books. It's difficult to move copies online because it's hard to put that personality into those books. You have basically whatever your cover is, whatever your description, your title, those types of things. The biggest thing for selling books online is the reviews. Reviews are what used to be word of mouth. Even running the YouTube channel, you are trying to build a brand. You're trying to get people to understand who you are. That hasn't really worked for me. I'm not necessarily the outgoing type. I'm not overly excitable. I'm more of I want to work behind the scenes. I'll do whatever I need to do, but I need to do it my way, and I'd like to do it out of the spotlight if possible. And even making these videos. I'm getting much better now, but it used to be really difficult for me to step up here and just really talk to the camera. Talk to you guys. And then over time, it's gotten easier. I'm able to just look at the camera and just go with it. I still stumble over my words sometimes, but I'm more confident talking to the camera than I used to be. I am a creator. I'm a doer. I build things. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll build anything from motorcycles to firing up the forge and building a sword or building a suit of armor, metal or leather, or, really anything. I love to build things. It just so happens I also enjoy telling stories and writing books. I figured I've spent so much time doing that, I may as well keep at it now. The thing is, most people do not want something new. They want the same old other thing with a different label. They want something that they think is new, but is really within their comfort zone. That can be a tricky thing, especially when you're coming up with ideas. You don't want to feel like you're doing the same thing that a million other people have done. But the thing is, that's kind of what people want. As sad and unfortunate as that is, people are not good at stepping out of their comfort zone. There can only be so many ideas kicking around, so even if you're telling Romeo and Juliet, which has been told hundreds of times in various different formats and elements, it's the way that you do the story that makes it different. Another thing, sex sells. I wrote an article several years ago that I titled it, "Sometimes I Wish I Had Tits." When it comes to marketing, women have a natural advantage over men. Women are more visually appealing. They're typically going to get a bigger reaction out of everybody than a male will. That's not to say that they have to run heavy on sex appeal. The thing with women, even if they're getting a bunch of the creepy guys who are sending the, nice eyes or, the idiots, women have to deal with a lot of crap. I don't dispute that in any way, shape, or form. In all honesty, all of the crap that they've got to deal with is actually helping them in the long run. Because every time that somebody comments or likes or follows or does any of this stuff, all of that is building interaction on their page. So whenever they post a selfie of themselves and you've got several hundred people are clicking on it to like it, and you've got all the creepy guys that are commenting on the picture, but the benefit to that is you are getting all of these interactions, which tells the algorithms that whatever you're doing is something that people like. So then whenever you make a business post, the algorithm is like, well, hey, everybody liked this stuff before, maybe they'll like this too. So then the algorithm starts showing it. And of course, it's not going to get as much interaction because it's not the stuff that appealed to the other people. But the thing of it is, the algorithm's going to show that to more people simply because they have a history of getting heavy reactions. Society right now is obsessed with a fantasy. People currently reveal celebrities as modern day demigods. It's all a dream of perfection. Perfection doesn't exist, no matter where you're at. When you're dealing with social media and all of this stuff, you have to understand that most of this stuff is fake. It's all a popularity contest. It's marketing, it's perception, it's manipulation. That's why there are so many filters or photoshopping and changing the way people look, trying to cover over any type of skin blemish. All of this stuff, we live in a fake reality. It's all manipulation, it's all marketing, and people really need to look through this. The whole don't judge a book by its cover. Well, the only purpose for a book cover is marketing. This is the way that you get readers to open your book and find out what's inside. You get the title to hook them. You give them the cover to tell them a little bit of what it's about. And then you get the description to really get in there. And then by the time they've opened the book, if you've hooked them on everything else, you've pretty much got them. We have to learn how to take what's there and spin it and make it a way that gets people interacting, gets people excited, gets people wanting whatever it is we're offering. You have to understand the market. You need to learn every detail that you can from the top down. You need to figure out who your audience is. You have to know what they're interested in. You need to know where they shop, where they eat. You need to learn the things that they do on a daily basis. And this isn't always going to coincide with the way you are as the writer. If you're writing a market, you have to know who that market is. If you're writing for the sake of writing and then trying to market it afterward, for instance, creating art, it's a little bit harder to find where you're going to fit in at. Like I said earlier, when you're creating art, you come up with the idea and then you try to find the market to fit it into. That's a tricky place to be. I've done it more than I probably should. I write the book first and then I try to figure out how to sell it afterward. And really, to make more money, it's finding the market and then writing the story. The other thing of that, as a writer, you have to understand that even if you're doing the art side, if you're coming up with the ideas first, writing your story first, you still have to understand that you are still creating a product. You have to learn not to be so emotionally attached to it. You have to learn when to cut things, when to change things, when to let go of certain things. If you're doing the indie side, you're the boss. You get to choose what happens with that. But understand that you still need to make it a marketable product. I wish I could give you a magic bullet to tell you how to make all of this stuff click. If I knew of one, I would use it myself. The only thing I can say is study the market that you're trying to get into. Learn how everything works. The craft of these books is really the least important thing. It's still extremely important, don't get me wrong, but the craft is the least important when it comes to success. You need to learn how to sell your books first, and that's not just in person, that's online. If you're going to make it as an author in modern day, you're really going to have to learn how to sell online. That's where success is held. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. If you got value out of this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.